All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. Here we are on day 2 for Eye of the Storm, our spelling words, and we are talking about Latin roots again this week. Yay! All right, our 3 roots that we are focusing on, count them, three, struct, scribe, and script. Talk about a tongue twister there. Now, I want to remind you, going back to our first slide here, that the Latin root is a word part that carries the basic meaning, and it comes from the Latin language. The Latin roots that we're going to be talking about again, tongue twister, struct, scribe, and script. We're going to be looking at also some prefixes and a few suffixes as we decode our words this week to break them apart to help us to learn their meaning. Remember, we're not always just focusing strictly on what you can spell, but my goal is to teach you more vocabulary, okay? More word meaning so that you build that content knowledge, all right? So let's look at where we left off. We looked yesterday at the root word of struct, and we knew that this meant to build. Okay, that's the meaning of this Latin root. So we looked at construct, we looked at structure. Now our last word was instruction. Okay, see it here? Instruction. Very good. We know that our root is to build. That's the meaning. And now we need to break it apart a little bit more, okay? Instruct, just a little bit too simple. So we need to look at the end of it. That I-O-N, shun, doesn't look like a shun, but it is. That means whenever you see that, it's the action of. Okay, that's what it means right here. I made sure I looked it up, and it shows the action or the state of a word. Okay, so it's the action of instruct, which means what I'm doing right now. I'm instructing you. All right, your teacher instructs you. And that brings us over to the meaning of our word, the act of instruction or instructing or teaching. Simple. Makes sense when you put it all together. You pick it apart and you bring it back together. Fabulous job. I knew you guys were with me. So let's move on now to our second Latin root, and it is scribe. Okay, now let me tell you one thing before we get started. Scribe and script, they both mean to write. So this is where we're going to have to use a few more decoding skills, break them apart a little bit, and find out what we know and how we can find out what they mean. Okay, so our first word, describe. Very good. I know you see it in there. Say it with me, describe. Good job. I heard you loud and clear. So our root is scribe. We said that it meant to write. And now I'm going to have to use some other word parts to find out what the meaning is. Now, I know that de or describe, D, means from or down. So I know that by using resources, I still use a dictionary. I know that by adding the prefix and my root together, that it's going to mean describe is to tell about in words, either in writing or speaking. Okay, so to write, though, describe something, it can be writing it or speaking it. All right, let's move over here to scribble. All right, we're pretty familiar with scribble. Again, I find my root, scribe, is to write. But then I had to look a little bit more. And I said, well, I need to look at that suffix, which is I-B-L-E. And I said, well, I need to find out what that suffix means. It's at the end of my word. And so I-B-L-E is like A-B-L-E. They both mean that they're able to do something. And it gives you an adjective, which describes. We know adjectives are our descriptions. And so the meaning of scribble is to write in a hasty or careless way. So I hope you saw here today how we used prefixes and suffixes with our Latin roots. I know it's getting a little bit more complex, but I know you got this. You guys are amazing, and I'm going to let you take this in, and then I will see you back for day 3 of our spelling with Latin roots. All right, have a good afternoon. I'll see you later. Bye-bye.